All right, Todd. So first, congratulations on your first feature that's made the big screen.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, I follow you on Twitter, so I wanted to start with. I know yesterday you got the news that we lost a great director, Tony Scott. I know that must be big to you as a director. I mean, how was just getting that news? You know.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just major and so tragic and so heavy. And Tony Scott. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and as a young teenager, I saw True Romance opening night with my high school girlfriend, and it changed my brain chemistry, and inspired me in a lot of ways. And of course, The Hunger and Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Top Gun, and big fan of Tony Scott, and super stylistic, elevated director. And so yeah, no, he did a great service and great cinematic contributions. So,
right. So this being your first film, I mean, you go straight for the horror genre. Is this something that you aim to do for your first project, or it's just something that fit with the timing, right? Well,
the horror genre, is my favorite genre, one of my top favorites. I'm into all genres and all styles, but grew up loving this stuff and coming at it, in an honest way, and worked on different horror films, and From Dusk Till Dawn with Tarantino and Rodriguez when I was 17 or 18, and I think a horror film was a great foundation for so many filmmakers, and certainly so many of the master filmmakers. When you look back and do the research, their first films were often, were a horror film, and I think that they're so, purely cinematic, and those quiet moments of building the suspense and moving the camera and dealing with sound design and more visceral, manipulating the audience. You get that kind of real reaction immediately from the audience. So, yeah, no, I love this, and I'm going to keep exploring it.
So was Daniel Pearl a key guy to have since he's done, like, cinematically, Texas Chainsaw and everything else? That he fit right into the team for this person?
Yeah, no, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of my all-time favorite films, and I personally hand-selected Daniel Pearl and tracked him down and got him in here, and we were in the trenches fighting the good fight, and yeah, no, he's one of the master DPs, and he's sort of like the Indiana Jones of cinematographers, and has all these great adventures and stories, and talks about how things used to be in the 70s and 80s. And so, no, he makes everything look beautiful. And so, yeah, Daniel Pearl was one of the keys to this film.
So why don't you give the next group of young filmmakers some of the rules for a horror movie? I'll give you one. You got to have a pretty girl, and you got that. So,
oh, great, okay.
So give us one or two more rules that you have to have for a great horror picture.
Well, I think, to me, we set out with this film, and I think it can help all horror films that it's more about what you don't show or don't see or don't explain. That true horror is best in the shadows, in the darkness, and getting just brief glimpses of things. That you can't beat the audience's imagination of projecting their own worst fears into the darkness in their imagination. So, so I think that's the main thing, and just treating things as honestly and logically as possible. Again, not doing the sort of go-to grungy, gritty, and cobwebs and rust for every single scene and moment, but just capturing the real world and looking to your own life and living life. Yes, you should watch all these horror films and all decades of horror films, but also, you know, you should get out and see America and pull from your own experiences, and don't just watch a movie about some character going into the dark woods. You should go out into the dark woods late at night and try to remember what that feels like, and help that, you know, let that inform some of your work. So,
great explanation. Thanks, man. We can't wait to watch all your future projects.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, man.